And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John. With me as always, Tyler.
Hey! My clocks now are slow, I just realized.
Your minute hand is pretty smooth, though.
That's the second hand.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. You're the watch guy.
I know.
You're the watch.
I'm also an idiot, so
Well, nah.
it kind of counters itself.
Nah.
A little bit.
Nah.
It is a smooth second hand, though, which is what you look
It
for in
is.
a good watch.
Is it?
Yeah,
So there's a quartz in there.
well, yeah, the quartz will be smooth, but the very high-end mechanical watches are also pretty smooth.
Yeah.
So like your Rolexes, your super high Grand Seiko, it's a sweeping movement, and that's how you can tell it's very high quality.
That was not. It's just, that's Baron. It's not a very high quality. I like it.
Might be.
It's fine.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Minimalist.
I do like the minimalist stuff.
This
was a social media buy. I got a little ad that popped out that was like, it's finally back in stock. And a couple people that I follow had one. I'm like, I have to get it. It's in stock. And I got it. And it was like, it's
almost like advertising works.
I hate it. I hate marketing. I hate advertising.
I almost bought those socks with those funny socks. Like one of them is like the chicken
hold
legs.
hands. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that too. But on my X feed, it's like it's like a black sock, and then there's a little chicken leg, so it looks like you don't have feet, you're just little chicken legs.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny, and there was like some other ones.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, should I buy that? It's like, nah.
I always get that stuff for Chelsea. That's why we have like a mug that's like, I like your butt, or like the like all that stuff where it's like you personalize it. Or something. It's dumb.
Yeah. Well, some of it looks cool, but you never know like what's gonna work.
Yeah,
not work, but like is it really going to look like that?
Everything I got off of social media, aside from that clock, which even that clock is like, minute hand's a little slow. Like it kind of, a little fast, I guess you should say. Because that was perfect. That was like to the second perfect when I started. Now it's off.
Now it's off, yeah.
What was I saying? But
everything
else has been terrible.
Oh,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't believe anything that's advertised on social media. Like
second exception, the wood paneling is pretty decent.
Oh, yeah, that was another social media
pick? They were pushing
pick?
that for a while.
Nice. Yeah, the wood paneling does look good.
Not a lot of people sell that, though, like in those panels, so...
Pretty specific item.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting these ads on like these D&D dice, and it's actually interesting. So these ones that they're making are supposed to be fair dice. I forget what they advertise them as, something fair dice or something. Mm-hmm. But anyways, the whole point is the numbers are printed on them, so there's no indentations, so that it's supposed to be every side is smooth and there's an equal chance, right? Mm-hmm. Because obviously some numbers, if there's 2 digits, there's more of an indentation, and it might skew the weight very minimally, but theoretically at that level, you could skew. So there's that, and then they rearrange the numbers. So how it works right now with any die, it's like the opposites are on each other, right? So like 20's on one side and then the 1's on the other side. Yeah. They do it differently, and I forget how they do it, but they have a whole breakdown of the math table where it's like we do if you add up the digits from the number you're looking at and the surrounding ones, it is equal around the board. So any number you look at,
any
if
cluster,
that makes sense, any cluster is the same. So that's supposed to be theoretically more balanced.
Well, it's like a D6 always has 7, right? Is that right?
Yeah, 2D6. Yeah, that's craps.
2D6? No, like if you look on a die, 6 and 1, 2 and 5.
Yes.
3, 4.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Those are the 6 numbers. Yeah.
Those are the 6 numbers. Yeah. But anyways, so
that's
I thought
cool.
that was interesting. I don't know.
I feel like printing. I get their argument. I feel like there are ways to make it a little more unique without just like printing. Yeah. I feel like that's kind of like they
have different shapes and stuff too.
Okay.
That they have. It was interesting. I should send you it. It's. I don't know if like I'm not a dice guy, so I used to like buy dice and stuff. I always lose them. Yeah. So now I haven't bought a set of dice in like 10 years, dude.
I like the ones I got for our campaign, but half the time I need like way more than just like one set of dice. Like one set of dice doesn't really do much for you unless you really want to do all the math and everything.
Especially in that game. Except for a D20. Like you need one D20. Yeah. Typically 2, let's say, because advantage, disadvantage. Mm-hmm. And then, you need a ton of D6. Yeah. You need multiple D8, right?
I was going to buy a giant D20. like a really nice one, but it was like $200.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was gonna use that for death dice.
Oh,
So
nice.
like during a campaign, if someone's like on their last leg,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, like
The big one.
here you go.
You need a box that coincides with that though, because is it like metal? I would assume.
It's
right?
not metal.
Oh,
no,
it's plastic?
It was like some sort of resin.
Oh, okay. Because
thing,
what I
yeah.
always worry about that is just destroying your
Oh,
table.
you would. Well, yeah, I would think that'd be more of like a floor play and just find some carpet.
Oh, it's that
carpeting.
big? It's like a
yeah,
ball?
yeah. It's like I don't know if you know soccer. It's like a size 3 soccer ball. So it's like the smaller ones, but
Yep.
like a little training ball. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. Like a bowling ball.
a little smaller than a bowling
A
ball.
little smaller than a
Yeah.
bowling ball. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah,
dice. People love dice though.
yeah, like the floating dice.
What's the floating
You
dice?
get that on your social media.
No.
It's like a little platform, and there's a die, and they use like magnets or something in there, and you just put it on there and it just floats.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. And so if you just kind of have it there, you're floating, you want to roll, you pick it off and
Yeah.
roll it, and then put it back.
I was getting a lot of Harry Potter stuff on my ads.
Yeah.
That's popular. Like just random junk.
Yeah. I can't say the one thing I get.
Oh.
Yeah.
After dark though?
After dark.
Yeah. When is that gonna happen?
Dude, Snapchat's super annoying because now
The
there's
ads?
like an ad every
Dude,
time.
the worst. You think you have a notification,
Yep.
it's a freaking ad,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yes. That
So
should be
if
illegal.
It wasn't for like the group, I'd be like, just delete it. Like,
Well,
it's-
the first mistake was the freaking AI chick is always at the top. And then,
Yeah.
so I used to like snap her. She'd
Yep.
be like, oh, that's so interesting. I'm like, oh, crap. And now it's those freaking ads and it looks like you got a notification. I hate that. So scummy. So scummy.
I don't know. So I don't think that's it's up there. What's scummy is they had the like you can put your phone in dark mode. now?
Yeah.
They put the dark mode icon behind the paywall.
Oh, that is brutal.
Not originally. Originally, everyone got the dark mode icon, and then they put it behind the paywall, and now you have this giant. Like all my icons are nice in black background with like the little icon in the front, and then their Snapchat just bright ass yellow, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
they know what they're doing.
Of course they do, but they don't care, dude.
Now, why not? They give plenty of money. I don't know.
I actually don't know how good Snapchat's doing.
It's probably
They're
fine.
doing fine. I don't know. Like their stock price isn't that expensive. It's like $10 a share.
Yeah, for like what? Like it's not like they're not Facebook, but
No one's Facebook
Yeah.
except for like 5 companies.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
anyways-
Meta. Anyway, what's up?
Yeah. So we were talking before the podcast started about karma. And I thought it was an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring it in on the record so we can have bad takes
Awesome.
for the world to
That's-
see.
that's
I don't
our-
think it's
that's
bad
our
take.
MO. Yeah,
So
no, it's
you
fine.
are not a believer in karma,
Correct.
right? So you
Yeah.
think that. Well, what do you think? Why don't you solidify your position on that?
Oh, okay. I gotta choose my words carefully. I
Really?
think
You think this is like a contested topic?
no. I want to just explain kind of what I think clearly. I guess is probably the better way of describing that. See, I already screwed up my words. I would say that I do not believe that if you take advantage of a situation and let's say you do something that is maybe not ethically correct, that puts you in the red where now something that is bad, like something bad is going to happen to you.
Right.
My thought process is you are going to have plenty of good things and bad things happen to you. So linking them together is silly. Like anyone could do that, right? Like it's saying like, oh yeah, like stock market's doing real well. Like it's going to crash soon. And you could say it's going to crash soon for like 5 years and eventually it will. And see, I told you. Like
Eventually,
you can't
it'll be
live
right.
your life like that. Like that's silly.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think like if you're living your life in that manner with that mindset, it's kind of blaming unfortunate thing, like maybe not taking responsibility for some things, or like how do you feel about that? So like for example, it's like, oh, I was due for this bad thing to happen. Like, and then you don't take responsibility.
I guess like who makes those rules, right? Like who decides the severity of punishment, right? So, for instance, our house floods.
That's bad.
Go through an ordeal.
Yes.
Which I can't wait till I just never bring that up again. What did I do in my life to warrant that? right?
It was that bus, the notebook
Where I
thing.
left the
That might have been it.
Nude artwork on
Yeah.
the bus. Yeah. But maybe, but you know what I'm saying? Like, is it a cumulative? Is that right? The word? Cumulative?
Cumulative. Yes, that sounds right.
It's a bad word for me. Is it a cumulative thing where it's like, hey, all these little things you did, guess what? Pipe breaks. Like, I don't believe that. You know what I mean? It's like, man, that sucked, you know?
Yes. So, well, the other thing you have to think about is if you subscribe to this theory, then maybe this is a premeditated karmic event.
Sure.
And you're going to be paying for it later. Or like you're going to be doing bad things later, I guess, or whatever.
I'm going to be doing bad, though.
Yeah. So it's like instead, you're like paying up front. Like the bad thing has happened to you. And you're going to quote unquote deserve it because of the actions that you take later.
Oh, that's a completely different path.
No one's ever
why do you
said
got to do that to me? Why can't it be, hey, you hit this bad thing, so then you're good? Like, karma would be like you're destined for some good stuff.
Well, that's also another thought.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert
You're
on
going with the
karma.
negative thing, yeah.
I guess it's Hindi, right?
I don't know.
We
I
need
don't
Justin
know.
for that one, but I think so.
Sure.
Well, I think so. I might be wrong. Anyways, so what was I saying? Yeah. So, I mean, there's two schools of thought. One, like you're going to deserve it, quote unquote, by the actions that you either took, we don't know, or take in the future, or you have all this negative stuff that happened and now something really good's going to happen later down.
Yeah.
Or many good things will happen.
I think something really good. I mean, look, we have a beautiful daughter. That's something really good. Do I think that is a result of all the bad stuff that has happened? Like, no. Like, that's just,
right,
chance.
Exactly. So here's what I subscribe to. I wouldn't say I believe in karma per se. I believe in the law of averages, right? So kind of what you're saying is, I think, there is a chance component to everything that we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people are luckier than other people just by pure happenstance of just statistics. But I think things even out over the course of your life, just due to the law of averages, right? Like, some things will go really well for you when maybe you didn't deserve it, or you'll get super unlucky in some aspects of life. Now, of course, there are exceptions and extremes in any data set. So like some people are, it's just like someone was born to the richest person in the world and they just have a baller life and they have great genetics and they're healthy and they're, Now there's like a moral component to this where like maybe they're just like they'll never be happy because like they never had to like work for anything. I don't know. That's a whole other argument, but like I think, and then like some people are born with maybe some sort of condition or in a really tough circumstance. So like you have the spectrum, but I think in my mind, there's no way to prove this, but I think most of the time things will even out throughout someone's life and you'll get somewhere close to like a net neutral.
But I guess part of that is like, so let's say you are born with like a disability, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that pre-karmic for you? Is that bad karma from like your parents? Because obviously that's like heartbreaking for a parent.
Yeah.
So that's why it gets too muddled and gray for me.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like they don't deserve like you're the sins of your father, right?
That's what,
kind of deal.
Like I don't subscribe to that.
I don't
personally.
either. That seems very unfair.
And it always like it's
me,
never because there is a morality piece to it, and then it's like, well, what morality are we talking about? You know what I mean?
Right. Like what is the moral stance?
Yeah, like what's your threshold and compass there? And that's why
I will say my cousin
down.
kind of has an interesting view on this where he's a firm believer, and I know I'm kind of putting words in his mouth. I hope I'm articulating his belief correctly, but he thinks that you manifest a lot of what you do. So if like you have a very positive mindset, you believe you're going to be successful, you manifest a lot of that within your life. And the opposite is true as well. Like if you believe everyone's against you, you believe you're super unlucky, then you're going to get negative results due to that. Like your mindset contributes to like results in a lot
I see
of
what you're
ways.
saying.
I think that's kind of true. I think there's something to that because
I think you get it either way. It's just what you attribute it, right? So it's like, any good thing that happens, it's, for like my mom or something, it'd be like, oh, thank God that he did this for you, or that sort of thing. Not to make it religious, but like, like it's always
technically
like,
it already is because karma is
fair enough. But it'd be the same thing where it's like, oh, I did something, something bad happened or whatever. It's like, oh, he has, is he playing? Like it's always kind of out of your
yeah. I
control
guess
there.
at the end of the day, it's what you attribute it to and
Yeah.
like what you feel is responsible for it. I think the best course of action in life, in my opinion, as a wise 28-year-old dude, is you take responsibility for as much as you can in your life, and the things that happen to you or affect you that are outside of your control, you do your best not to worry about it. I think that's the best way to approach it.
So you want to go into karma with just a net neutral.
Nothing about karma, just like in your example, if something really like your house floods, it's like, well, I couldn't control this. So I'm going to do my absolute best to like try to not let it affect me. Of course, like there's a lot of factors that go into that it's going to affect you in some way or another because it's just physically affecting you in terms of like, hey, this is where I need to live. But it's like you think about it, it's like, okay, well, could I have made any decisions that prevented this? And you start going down that rabbit hole, and it's like at the end of the day, I think you would come to the conclusion that it's not really, because I didn't have the information available to me to like know that this was going to happen, right?
So I guess on the flip side of that, then, because this is where I just don't get into the whole karma thing. Like, let's say the previous owners, right? We reach out to them. We say like, hey, like, did you ever have issues here, or was there like not to try to get them in trouble, but just like trying to like, hey, we're fighting the insurance company because the insurance company is like trying
this
to.
This is
just
what
not
you did.
pay.
You're saying,
yeah. So it's like, hey, like, when did you install the thermostat? When did you? And it was just like nothing. Like, oh, that sucks. Hope. Good luck to you. Basically, like it's just like there was no help there. So like, is it on them? Like from a karmic standpoint, like should they have like
it's bad
gone
karma
out of their
for
way?
them?
Well, is it bad karma,
I don't know.
is it net neutral karma? Because it like that sucks. It's very unfortunate, but like their lives really have nothing to do with our lives, so it's just like whatever. But if they came through and gave us a lot of information or helped fight for us or whatever, would that just be like a like positive karma? And like that's when it would be like, oh, we're really stockpiling that stuff up. I don't believe in any of that stuff. That's
right.
That's where it gets really weird, because it is kind of this butterfly effect of everything you would do affects something in some way that you have no idea about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm sure the religion is more clear on this.
Sure.
And again, we need Justin to like verify because he's studied all religions and is
all religions.
Yeah, a lot of them though.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard he's very well studied man. But I think my understanding would probably be that the religion kind of clarifies what the moral structure is.
Sure.
And kind of you'd get a better understanding, I guess, that way. But I totally agree. It's like keeping points like that, it seems very complicated and probably not.
Probably need to be a god for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there's a lot of gray area, like in life, right?
Yeah.
With any religion, really, like we talked about, it's like there's always going to be some sort of gray area, some sort of question that's like, well, what if this scenario happens? Is that good or bad? Like, it's like that's difficult.
Yeah.
To answer. So yeah, I don't know. I think.
All right, so let me ask you this. Then.
Okay.
Karmic standing. You think you're more positive?
No. I don't think I'm a very great person. I don't know. I think about.
You're all right.
You're
okay.
Not horrible. I'm not a horrible person, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not in the lower, like 25th percentile or something.
Oh, okay.
But I'd say maybe around neutral, because like I don't know, I'm a pretty selfish person. I lie. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I'm mean. I can be mean sometimes though. I think I'm mean sometimes, probably.
You're human.
Yeah, no. Look, hey, you got to be able to admit your faults. That's an important part of life too, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like a really sore loser.
Sure.
But I don't know. I have good qualities.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe neutral. Maybe somewhere in neutral area.
All right.
What about you?
I don't believe it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, I don't believe it either, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You keep putting it on me like this is like my belief structure.
You seem pretty into this whole karma thing.
I think everyone has thought about it.
Sure.
It's an interesting thought experiment of like,
yeah.
You've used karma before. You've used that. It's like in the culture.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I'm probably on the lower end. I think So let me put it this way. I don't think I'm necessarily stockpiling good things. I think to have good karma, you have to be like going out of your way to be good. I think being a normal person, I think is just, and again, I'm probably butchering it, but like in my mind, if you're not going out of your way to do good things, then it's just like you're just neutral.
I guess, but I don't know. You're a good father, right? You're taking care of your child.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. But does that mean you don't get points for that? Well, I think you should get points for that because the alternative is that you neglect your child, and that's a very bad karma. Situation.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I could always be doing more for my child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but dude, that you can literally do that. You can say that for anything.
Exactly. That's why I think it's a silly thing.
I wouldn't say it's silly per se, but I would say that that's not a good way to view life. Is like, I could always do more. Why? Or maybe it's a great way to view life. I don't know.
I would argue that's probably the best way. Is you can always do more. You can always be better.
I think it depends on who you are. It could be a healthy mindset, like you push yourself, you motivate yourself that way. I also think that could be a very negative mindset if you're like, I'm not good enough, I can do more, he's better than me, she's better than me, blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah. It's
like I tend to do that to myself a lot.
Yeah.
So I can see the negative implications of that kind of outlook personally.
It's fair.
Yeah. I'm very self-defeating a lot of the time, so that's like something I got to work on.
Yeah. Well.
What? No, are you as well?
No, not to your level.
I am, I'm very bad. I have such a bad habit of like, I was doing this today. I'm like taking a shower and then like for some reason my brain betrays me. All of like my most embarrassing moments, things I regret just flood in.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting in the shower. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. I'm just like yelling at myself. Not that bad, but it's like, dang it, dude. Like, why couldn't I do that? It's hard. I've been trying to be better about it, just being like, look, it's in the past, can't change it.
Yep.
Learn from it.
I'm haunted by a thing at work. Like I was in a call and someone said something and I thought they were talking about something else. And I like unmuted myself, said a thing that was like, could be construed as me like berating someone. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get like super into it, but it's like, I said something jokingly, but it's not what they said. It was something completely different, and I feel like the relationship that I had with this person has not been the same since.
Ooh.
And I've since like reached out. I'm like, hey, that's not what I meant. I was multitasking. I misread what it was, and they were like, oh, it's fine. But it's just like in the back of my mind, and I think about this probably at least once a month, and it's been years.
Damn, dude.
And it's just like whatever.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
like I constantly think about this date I was just on. Where like it didn't work out, and I just replayed in my head like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That joke wasn't funny. Like it's this and that, and it's like what I should be doing is okay. Well, hey, I'm glad it didn't work out. Now the alternative is you go out with her, you get married or something, then you get divorced later or something. You know what I'm saying? Like the scenario could be much worse than what it is.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't
know if that's the best way of looking at it, but yeah.
I'm a very extreme person.
You don't say.
I take the scenarios to the limit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, but it's things like that. I think about all the throws I've missed in baseball all the time. That was killing me. I want those back, dude. Those kill me, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's not.
I think it's hilarious. I guess it's not
haunts
awesome,
me, dude.
Yeah.
But why can't my brain think about all the great times?
Yeah, that's because they're
all the great times.
It doesn't matter.
Man, it's like we have such a proclivity towards negativity.
Yeah, that's why the Matrix had to be
throughout society.
Less than perfect.
Right. Yeah, like real life.
Yep.
Yeah, because. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense because, like, if you have this utopia, if everything's good, is anything good?
Yeah, everything is.
You think so?
Yeah. It's just,
so you think there's just a goodness? Because I guess my argument is that what's the barometer for goodness if you don't know anything other than perfection?
Just harmony. It doesn't have to be like good, bad, whatever. It's just it's peacefulness. It's calmness. It's like there is no anguish, strife, or uneasy, or anxiousness, or whatever.
Yeah, but don't you think that we only know these feelings of joy and triumph and stuff? Like triumph, for example, is overcoming adversity, but you eliminate the adversity part.
I don't think it's eliminating the adversity part.
Well, adversity, there's a negative connotation to that, right? Like there's something you're struggling with. have to overcome.
I think you could have a competition and stuff. It's just that you don't have
Someone has to lose. Is that a utopia? Is that perfection?
Yeah, 'cause it's not like it depends on what you're talking about, right? Like if it's like a competition or a game or whatever, I think it's fine.
Okay, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I think good and bad are. So it's like the yin yang kind of thing. I think they need each other.
Sure. So did the Agent Smiths.
Wow, he went a little far.
He went far.
You know.
Okay, fair enough.
Tried to overthrow everything.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
He tried.
Yeah.
This is a great movie.
I still don't think I understand how that turned out.
Oh, the end of 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of just.
You saw 4 though.
I did.
I never
4.
saw 4,
was so
and it
bad.
was really bad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so disappointing. What is with like, man? We just live like. Sometimes I think we live in the best era, right?
Yeah.
When you get like these cool things that come out, and then other times I'm just like, we live in the worst era. Like it feels, and we've talked about this to death, but like it feels like there's no creativity anymore. It's always just like, here's a sequel,
Here's a remake.
We're bringing them back. Like today, for example, I was all this Marvel stuff, you know, with the X-Men coming over. Yeah. They're recasting like all the you know, Magneto and
How dumb
X,
was that?
Mr. X, Dr. X?
That video. It was like
I didn't watch it.
2-hour shot. It was a 2-hour shot of all these chairs with just the names of the actors.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't see that.
Mind numbing.
You watched it all?
No, of course not, because it's literally here's a row of chairs.
Yeah,
and the camera starts at 1 and it holds it for like 5 minutes, and then slowly pans to the next one.
I don't believe you.
I swear to God.
Send me it.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
It's insane.
Was that like their reveal? Like,
that was the
reveal.
It was like a 2-hour
Holy
reveal.
Shit. I just saw a tweet about it.
That's all it was. And it was just like they go through, and then they have like a little joke of like, here's a tiny chair for Ant-Man, and it goes back up. And it's just like, and then it was like people that you already knew were in there, that they've already said were in there. And then eventually it gets to like, oh, dang, like they're bringing back like Kelsey Grammer as the Beast. And stuff like that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But like, not really. And then at the very end, you see Robert Downey Jr. sitting in his chair. He's the only one sitting in his chair, stands up and goes, huh? And then walks off. And it's like, hey, how much did you pay him to do that?
50,000.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't understand.
They're lost,
marketing.
dude. I mean, after the Infinity Saga, they're lost.
It's crazy.
But I saw a little clip on X, a tweet, and I was just like, well, look, I think here's what I think the problem is. Movie budgets are so expensive these days that they have to know it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
And nostalgia, like, you know, like, I feel like there's a baseline for nostalgia.
Yes.
It's a safe floor that you're going to get to.
Yep.
Right? Are you going to hit a home run with it? Probably not. Maybe less likely in my mind. Maybe I'm speaking out of my butt here, but like, I think that it's a safer bet. Go with things that people have loved in the past, and they have to go that route because they're spending so much money on making movies. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's the original X-Men. It's not the new Days of Future Past guys, right? And it's like, even the guy that played Nightcrawler, who apparently like hated it like hardcore and was like, I'm never doing this.
Yeah.
He's back.
Well, they throw him a big enough check.
And they were like, oh, I wonder why. It's like, are you kidding? It's the money.
Yeah,
like,
wonder why.
Like, oh, yeah.
Maybe he believes in the vision, guys.
It's definitely that. It's that thing. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, so this actually segues good into something I wanted to talk about. So I was on Twitter.
Me too, actually. So you go ahead.
And we talked a little bit about the Split Fiction sold the rights to like make a movie or something, and we were like talking a little. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but we were talking about like, dude, everything now. So we reviewed Split Fiction last week.
Yep.
Check out our review, couchcompany.games, and it was crazy to me because the worst part of that game, in my opinion,
was the story.
Is the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's what the movie's going to be about. There's no gameplay in a movie. Yeah. You're just going to be watching what's happening. So it's a big cutscene, and that was the worst part.
Yeah.
And now we're going to spend $50 million, $100 million, however much it costs to do a live action movie, a Split Fiction. First of all, it's a video game. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a lot of CGI that you're going to have to do.
Maybe.
I would say so. There's enough that goes on in that game. It would be tough to do practical effects with it. I guess you could, which would be cool. But again, the narrative is super weak.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So I think you could do like a Scott Pilgrim-esque thing. So I was thinking about that.
Okay.
I don't think Scott Pilgrim necessarily has like a riveting. I think it's just like a well-made thing. It has like a fine story.
Yeah.
I think you could kind of get there.
Here's my rebuttal to that. Scott Pilgrim has a ton of charm.
Yeah.
And like flair to it, I guess.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't think Split Fiction has that.
I think it could. I think
Split Fiction's not particularly funny at all. It doesn't have a particularly interesting style. It looks good for a game.
Sure.
But like Scott Pilgrim has that comic book style. There's a humor
but why not
to
adopt that is what I'm saying.
Because that's not the tone of Split Fiction.
Dude, people don't know what Split Fiction is. You have your gamers that know, and if they're doing a movie, it's not gonna it'll be a kid's movie.
It's supposed to be a novel. It's supposed to be inside a novel. That's like, how do you do that?
Yeah, they're not going to do any of that. It's gonna be like the Assassin's Creed movie where it's like they completely changed everything about it, and it is what it is.
That's my point with this though. Is like, why make a movie of it? They're just trying to make money. But like, if you're in the whiteboard room for that, having that meeting with the bigwigs, it's you can't possibly think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they say, "Hey, what's hot right now?" and it's like, "Oh, the Split Fiction game is real good,"
but it's the same thing. It's like, "Oh, I heard Minecraft's good. Oh, people like Jack Black. Let's do that.
Let's see what that makes." It's gonna make, dude. That movie is gonna make.
It can't, Tyler.
It's gonna make so much money. Dude.
It can't.
Do you know how many kids there is and I've seen it with my nephews. I've seen it with my cousins. I've seen it with my It's just
Come on, man.
There is this arc of. Kids will go through their Lego phase, and then they'll go into Roblox. They'll go into Minecraft. They'll do, and then they eventually do Fortnite. Eventually, they get to like your CODs or whatever. But like Minecraft is always in the conversation. Boy, girl, different age groups, doesn't matter. It's always there, and there's always something for someone.
It's never there. I don't think it's like a 0.1% chance it's going to be a good film.
I think the critics are going to be like, this sucks.
This is dog
and
shit.
then audience is going to be like, hey,
$1 billion.
Yeah. This kept my kid quiet for 2 hours. Like, great.
Dude, it's sad. Yeah. It's just so sad to me, dude. Like, just such a cash grab. Maybe it'll be the best. Maybe it'll be like the next Rosebud, you know? The next...
Rosebud?
Yeah, from Schindler's... Is that Schindler's List? Fuck, what is that? It's one of the best movies of all time.
I never saw Schindler's List.
It's either Schindler's List or what am I thinking of? Oh, this is going to kill me. The audience is screaming at me right now, dude. They're like, John, how do you not know one of the best critically acclaimed movies of all time?
Is this a sequel?
No.
Oh.
It's back when they had original ideas, my guy. Oh, man. Maybe it is Schindler's List.
Is Rosebud a character?
No, he says Rosebud. It's the whole thing. Like it opens with that, and it's a big part of it. It's like a famous scene.
Never heard of it. Sure. So like, is this like a Godfather thing?
Citizen Kane. Fuck.
Yeah, I never saw that either.
Yeah. That's supposed to be one of the best. Damn.
Minus
points.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I think it's not.
So
it's not the best property to do. I think you could
Minecraft or Split Fiction.
Split Fiction.
Okay,
yeah. I think you could do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
here's a couple of things.
Yep.
Pigs, cute. People like pigs.
Yep.
You could do something goofy, right? You could have that. Dragons, How to Train Your Dragon, very popular. You can animate a cool dragon that's super cute, and they had some things in there. That's all you need to like make it, like, to give it character and to charm it up a little bit or whatever. You get two actresses that are like good, like go well together and have that rapport and like kind of good banter and stuff.
Be like a good B movie.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna be compelling, or
I think it's the best crazy. It's a movie. It should be a TV show.
It should be a game. It's a game. Why can't it just be a game?
Well, it is a game. You have it, but people want more.
Why can't it be a book? Here's an idea.
It would be a bad book.
Yeah, because they're the worst writers of all time. Make it a good book.
The book itself would be good if it's describing them writing a book. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what. Yeah.
Which is what the movie was probably going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know, or they take it like a Last of Us, like super gritty, and it's just
I don't think
spoilers.
So.
Her sister in a lake.
Yeah, I think the audience for that though is like boyfriend and girlfriends, husband and wives.
I think that's for the game. I think the movie.
No, that's who's going to see the. If you didn't play the game, you're much less likely to see the movie. It's going to be the people who played the game.
See, that's what I disagree with. I think the premise. I think if you do this movie,
interesting,
you just make it this crazy like. Wait, what? And then you just make it this crazy CGI spectacle and hope you get people in there, or make it a kids game.
No, I think
kids movie.
The audience is going to be the gamers.
Yeah, I don't think that's big. I don't think a lot of people play those games. I really don't.
A lot of people did play. I think, yeah,
not to the same level as your Mario and Minecraft and things. I think it's such a niche thing that right. I think more people played Borderlands. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
like Split Fiction. The only way you can play it is with someone else. So like already you're cutting your audience by a specific amount.
Yes, but I think it's the one game that taps that audience that doesn't typically play games, or like like your Stardew Valley players, like your like that kind of thing. I'm generalizing big time here, but like I think there is a lot of overlap with that, where it's like not your hardcore gamers.
I think
it's a bigger market than you might be giving it credit.
The amount of people that played that game, you would need more than that to make it worthwhile in a box office.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Depending on how much it costs.
My hypothesis.
But here's the thing:
Uncharted, people go see Tom Holland. Like they don't care about Uncharted.
Yeah,
right?
They could go that route where it's just like you cast the most popular two
Jack
female.
Black's going to be one of the female protagonists
in there, and I don't know, someone else. I don't know who the most popular actress is right now.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. Yeah,
there you go.
I don't know. I'm very bad with actor names, but whatever. Like that in and of itself, right, is going to get people in the door. But anyways, so I saw that. I also saw today, apparently there's a Zelda movie being made, live action Zelda, and it's coming out like next month. I had no idea.
Next month?
I think so, yeah. It was probably on the Nintendo Direct that neither of us watched.
I did watch.
Oh, did you watch it?
Most of it. I did not see a Zelda movie.
Okay, maybe it was not, but I saw it in my feed today. Zelda movie announces live action release date.
Yeah, like 2020.
Oh, 2027.
Yeah, okay. All right. I was like, there's no way it's coming out.
Regardless.
Sure.
Also, what are we, like Zelda?
Yeah.
Zelda's like a video game, man.
Zelda has some cool, like you could make
there's enough lore and live action though?
Well, look, I'm not a big when your world is so fantastical that like everything has to be CGI. Like I feel like you're kind of missing something.
Well, I don't know. Lord of the Rings, pretty good.
Lord of the Rings is rooted in reality. Zelda is like, you know what I mean?
Fair.
Like every monster is
fantasy,
like crazy. Yeah, I don't know. There's magic.
I don't know. There's like the pig monsters.
Yeah,
could do like it reminds me of like Jabba the Hutt's guards. That was all costumes.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. A different stature, but yeah, you could.
It's close, though.
Okay, you know, fine.
Well,
I take it back.
It's doable. They're not going to do it. It's going to be all CGI. But
yes,
man, I wish they were practical.
I just don't know why you do like a Mario movie like that and then you do a live action Zelda.
It's very baffling to me. I'm just an old man. I don't get it, but I just think there's no new ideas.
Going back to Marvel for like 2 seconds, we started watching Daredevil, Born Again. I think it's Born Again. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one of the best cast TV shows.
So this is part of the universe
officially. So it was Netflix. They did 3 seasons.
Yeah,
canceled it.
As always,
Punisher was on there.
Yeah.
Canceled it.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones, all that.
Yeah.
And they brought Daredevil, all those characters from that, Punisher, all those characters. They are officially canon in the MCU. But boy, is it like...
Well, we did know that because Daredevil was in one of the Spider-Mans.
Yes.
And
Yep. Punisher was different.
Right.
So whenever we saw it in Daredevil, then it's like, oh, he's that. And it's very interesting because Punisher, like this part is like there's a lot of like really bad cops in New York, and they're all wearing like they're like tattooing the Punisher symbol on themselves and different stuff like that. So he's like setting a bad example, and then he's not taking responsibility for it. He's like they're wannabes, they're not, you know. So like there is there's a lot less like I guess like action in this one, at least so far. I think there's only 4 episodes out, maybe 5. But the writing's really good, the acting's really good. Like it's really well done.
Nice.
John Bernthal is like,
he's great.
Man,
yeah,
he is
perfect.
Yeah, and I always forget his name, but whoever plays Fisk, like for the Kingpin, also perfect. Like he that's not what you would think Kingpin is until you like watch him do it, and you're just like, it's pretty good. I like it.
Kind of like Penguin, right? The new like they have the mob style with what's his name?
Yeah, Colin Farrell. Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same thing, but I'm saying like not what you typically expect from Penguin. Right, you expect a little
more
Godfather.
Yeah. So you expect Danny DeVito to come in and just yeah.
But that's and I think it was a cool take on it.
But that's the thing is Daredevil is so gritty, and he cameoed in She-Hulk, which I actually enjoyed. I thought She-Hulk was like fine, but that was a much more Marvel, because then you had like the Hulk in it, and you had like Mark Ruffalo in it and stuff. So it was like it felt very Marvel, and then you saw Daredevil in it, and he was cracking jokes in the Marvel style, but then you pull him out, and then suddenly he's like really gritty and dark and like angsty and stuff, and it's just like, how are you gonna weave that in there? Like I can't see John Bernthal's like Punisher, who is like giving one of the best acting. Like, he is just always, like, on, man. I can't see that in a Marvel movie. Because Marvel is just jokes. That's all it is.
Right,
it's just jokes. Robert Downey Jr. has his one, like, kind of crying scene, and then more jokes. Speaking of... Okay, last thing.
Okay.
Endgame, I think the final one, or the one before, whatever Avengers
Infinity War.
Did you see the thing going around where they said that Thanos kills Captain America? So in the forest, where Thanos is like fighting off everybody and like kills Vision and everything, he punches Captain America, and Captain America just goes down, and he's just like gone.
Well, is that when he's holding his fist or something?
Yeah.
Bang. Yeah.
So the theory is that Thanos kills him and just straight up kills Captain America.
Okay.
But then, because he needs the stone from Vision, he rewinds time to get the stone from Vision. And in doing so, he brings Captain America back to life, because the time that he rewound is after his fight with Captain America. So Captain America comes back, and then it's like the classic, like, oh, if you see this, and like, I think it's just maybe not great acting by Chris Evans, but Chris Evans is in there, and he's like looking really confused and out of it and stuff. It's like, see, it's because he doesn't know where he's at. He came back from the dead and stuff. So I thought that was clever, but
what implications does that have on anything?
Literally nothing.
Yeah. I thought you were setting up for like, he's coming back, and
oh no, there's
okay.
no, it's nothing. It's just like, oh, if time wasn't rewound, they speculate that Captain America, like Thanos, just straight up kills Captain America.
They'd never kill Chris Evans.
So
he was going to always lead the next film.
He's 1,000% back. He's going to be.
You think so?
He's not on the cast chair, but yeah.
It was funny, and maybe that's a spoiler. It's been out long. The Deadpool movie. He's in now.
Yeah.
Funny. Okay, yeah. Punisher, good. Daredevil, good.
Yeah, I like Daredevil. We're watching Reacher. Reacher's finale is out today, so technically
Jack Reacher.
No, I don't think it's Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
maybe it is Jack Reacher.
I thought it was. I could be wrong. That's
with
the one
Jack
dude.
Ryan from The Office.
What?
Yeah, John Krasinski plays Jack Ryan, who is like
that's guy. Okay, I'm mixing things up.
And then there's Reacher, who is like the really big buff dude that was
the
from
blonde
Smallville.
guy.
Yeah,
the guy from Blue Mountain State.
Or Blue Mountain State.
You ever see that?
No, but he's like whiny and stuff, and like runs out of a diner in that.
Blue Mountain State?
Yeah.
He's the linebacker, and dude, Blue Mountain State is one of my favorite shows, dude. That's a hilarious show. You should watch it. Yeah. It's just all about like partying, and it's like the typical college show.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He gets really weird, like in interviews and stuff. He's just weird, and in a funny way. And his like a charming way. His Instagram's so dumb, but like funny.
Interesting.
Like, he knows how to
play the room.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which is completely the opposite of his character in the show, which is funny.
Yeah, he's massive, dude. Yeah. He's so big. Yep. I just love how he's like oh, this is my workout, blah blah blah. He's like, you're on sauce, bro. Like, dude,
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
so
Which came
roided
out
up.
like I don't care, roid up.
No,
You're
well,
an actor.
here's the thing. It's like always been a lot of conversation about this, where it's like you can't. It's not legal technically. You
Sure.
you
Well,
know,
it's not like, hey, I'm taking steroids. He's taking something that is prescribed.
It's
right?
he's taking hormones. He's taking
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the whole thing that's happened with throughout bodybuilding. Like, you have to deny it because it's not illegal.
Yeah.
But it's just it's this weird like middle ground where it's like well known, like nobody's
Yeah.
gonna look into it. It's like accepted, but
Yep.
like you have The Rock and things. It's like, oh, I just work out really hard and blah blah blah.
Yeah, which is why you look
Dude,
shredded
you
more than when
are
you're
in
your
better
prime.
shape now than you were 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you are taking things.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. Like, I actually don't blame them either. I think it's kind of like the perception, like they can't talk. I wish it was more widely accepted so that people. I think the problem with it is that people are under the impression that believe that they're not on gear, think that that's attainable, right? Like, oh, The Rock can do it. Like, I have a chance at getting that physique at that age or whatever. It's like there's a limit to your
Sure.
genetics, to your. You know,
I mean, look at Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Looks shredded, but
Yep.
like he still didn't look as good as he did back then.
yeah,
Like,
you
know
can
what I
tell
mean?
that he's
Like,
not
yeah,
on gear.
he's
But
older.
it's also like, actors like that. He's lean.
right.
The Rock is huge.
Yeah.
He has so much muscle
Yep.
mass, right? Like, his traps could kill you.
Sure.
So
trap you.
They could trap you.
Yeah.
They could Akbar you,
Yes.
as the kids say.
like
The
it.
old
I like
kids.
it. Yeah,
the,
it's
the
like,
very
they're
old
not- they're not kids
the
anymore.
grandpas say. But my point is, I wish it was a more open conversation and people could talk about, because I think so there's kind of a couple of schools of thought here. One, you think you can obtain that naturally, which I is very unlikely, if not impossible. Two, people are like, okay, well, I'm going to gear up myself, not understanding the risks. And like, they have a team, you have doctors, like if you're at the top of the top, like The Rock, that will do blood work. They're very meticulous about making sure that you're as healthy as you can be, because obviously steroids are incredibly dangerous, right? Sure. And you're not going to get that if you're like some 18-year-old, 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying, who's trying to get huge. So
Right, yeah.
it's very dangerous in that aspect, and you're not getting it from like a doctor. You're getting it from Joe Schmo at the gym or whatever, dude. Like, I don't know. I just wish it was more widely talked about so that,
Yeah.
That's my thought
everything
with it.
that's harmful that people do would be nice to have an open dialogue.
I have the same kind of opinion on marijuana too. Like, I wish it was just legal across the board. Talk about the positives and negatives of it, right? And then you know what you're getting. Like, it's regulated.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it being cut by anything or like, what's going on with that.
You could tax it, get some
Just
revenue
tax
in
it.
there.
Yeah.
That's,
I don't know. That's kind of my thought. I think people are doing it,
Yeah.
but the way they're doing it now is they're like buying from drug dealers or whatever, and I think that's less safe than.
I'm
the
sure there's
alternative.
some financial reason behind it. Otherwise, we would have done it.
I don't know. I think it's probably complicated. I don't know, but that's just my thought. Maybe that's not a popular opinion, but
I don't know.
to me that
Yeah.
seems more reasonable than.
I think it seems popular. I think if you ask the generic individual that's our age, they're like, yeah, I don't care. Like, legalize whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my thought on it. More of a libertarian thought, probably.
Sure.
Although the regulation's not, but I think that's important when you're talking about drugs.
Yeah. Well,
Like, the FDA needs it. Like, the FDA is involved in all prescriptions and things like that.
Yeah.
It's important. There's a reason for
Yes.
that, dude. Yeah,
That's
we want to
fair.
know what we're taking.
Yeah. Dude, I was looking into some, not I mean, they were drugs, but not like,
Like prescription drugs. Yeah.
And it's like, it's terrifying. Where it's just like, okay, like, you want to talk about like just for like depression and different things like that. And
Yeah.
you're just like looking at it, and it's like, you might want to kill yourself if you take this. And it's just like, dude, I don't know if I want to like roll the dice there. Like, it's
right.
like, that stuff is like, when you start reading those, and you have to, because it's like, and then it's one of the, and this is what scares me and why I always get kind of like iffy about stuff, is it's very clearly like, okay, well, once you are on this, you can't just like, hey, I'm not taking this, and then like go off of it.
Like
it-
depression drugs.
Well, that's one of them, but like whatever. So it's
okay.
like, I was reading like specific labels of this, and it's like, you're going to do this for once a day for 3 months, and then we can kind of do whatever. And it's like, if you drop off, like if you want to take it off, you have to talk to a doctor and be like, okay, how do you wean yourself off of this?
Right.
Like,
it's a commitment, right?
Yeah, well, it's a commitment,
scary.
and it's terrifying. Where if you're just like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, it's like, well, you have to until you. Which, I mean, I guess you don't have. You could just not, but then
it could be dangerous.
Whole other side effects of yeah.
It's scary. I've always been super reserved when it comes to any kind of drugs. You know, I try to not take anything unless I really have to. Even like cold medicine, man. I don't know. It's a weird thing, which is super hypocritical because I like drink and stuff. And someone pointed this out to me back in college. He's like, I really don't understand why you feel this way about things when you like drink all the time.
Yeah,
you
like,
understand
this
that you're like killing your brain doing that. It's like, that's a great point. So I'm super hypocritical.
We're not doctors. Yeah.
Well, alcohol is bad for you. Like that's pretty established.
Sure.
It's not good for you. There's no
like
health benefits.
isn't wine good for you? Antioxidants,
but I think that's big wine. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some benefits maybe to that, but it is far outweighed by like, you know. Anyways, regardless, I think I've always been super reserved about that, like changing chemicals in your brain and you know this and that. But I don't know. Anything you do really changes chemicals in your brain.
Yeah,
I play video games. My neurons are firing like crazy when I'm doing that.
Like you only have one life, so it's like you may as well try to make it as good as you can.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very weird about it, but that's interesting. I didn't know that those kind of prescriptions were that intense.
Yeah, and it might not be. It's like that's just. I would say probably most of that stuff would just be like, hey, we got to cover our butts because. Well,
yeah. I guess I don't know how it works, but if there's a certain number in your clinical trials exhibiting those symptoms, you probably have to include it, right?
Yep.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
So even if it's like very small percentage, it's like, well, this could happen.
Yep.
You know? Maybe they should say like it's this likely to happen.
I think then they start getting into some weird.
Oh yeah. Okay, fair. I don't know. I mean, like you're just publishing the study at that point, right? Like, hey, in our study, like 1%.
Sure that you could find it if you really wanted to go down that path.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I was
too
scared
lazy.
just by the label. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think.
What else on our list?
Sorry, I don't know. Kind of went down a different path.
That's all right. It's fine.
My new computer came in today.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So by the time you're listening to it, it should be set up, and I pray it works. But it's a beefy boy. It's big. I don't know if it's going to fit under my desk. And I sent an email to the people who make my desk, and I'm like, hey, can I put 80 pounds on the shelf or is it going to break? And they never responded to me. So I was like, all right, I guess we'll find out. It's heavy. So I'm hoping that since it's like distributed weight, it's very long, right? So it's like maybe it's going to help.
Where are you putting it towards the middle? Or are you putting
I got to. It's like half the size of the desk.
That thing's going to sag. Well, you put it on the end to the middle. Like I'm saying, like you're not putting like the tower in the middle of your desk. Like you're putting on the end, and it just because it's big, it's going to go into the right. Okay.
I don't know. We'll see if it sags. I mean, I could reinforce it with like some wood or something underneath.
Just get a new desk.
That seems like a lot of work.
Literally, so you go to Home Depot.
Yep.
You pick out, hey, what butcher block do you want?
Bang.
They have table legs.
It's not the top of the desk. It's the underneath.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, so like, see these metal legs underneath? These did not come with this tabletop. So you can get this.
I see what you're
saying. You just pick the size.
Build myself a shelf or whatever.
Yeah, and you just put these can do, I think it was like 2,000 pounds.
Oh.
So like, it doesn't matter.
That'd be nice.
Like, yeah.
Need that.
It doesn't bow. It doesn't,
Yeah.
It's
the top of my desk can be fine. It's just needs to support the monitors and keyboard, but the bottom's going to be...
Do you put your feet up and everything? Yeah.
Nah.
I tend to do
I'm a gamer.
I tend to do that. Yeah.
Feet planted. Eyes locked in.
Yeah, that's not me.
Okay.
That's not me. Dude, I've been playing so much with a controller now. Like, I play Assassin's Creed with a controller. I play,
Really?
Monster Hunter with a controller, all that stuff.
Damn, dude. Talk to me about AC Shadows. You have that on the list, too.
I did. I don't know if we want to necessarily get, like, super
deep
into
it, but...
I've heard that certain people who may or may not listen to this podcast think
that
this is the best Assassin's Creed game. I challenge them.
I will amend that statement.
Since 2.
Since Brotherhood, I think he said.
Okay.
He let's put it this way. He said this is the best Assassin's Creed in a very long time, and specifically better than your favorite, which is us.
This in no way touches Odyssey. From the combat to the visuals to the story to the interface to the side quests to the whatever. This in no uncertain terms, in no way holds a candle to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That is my thesis. We will invite the past research department on for the review of Assassin's Creed Shadows, so we can really hash this out. But Assassin's Creed Shadows has made, and I was telling you this yesterday, this has made me make sure that I own every Assassin's Creed game. So I had a couple ones that so apparently I didn't own Brotherhood on PC. I definitely played the crap out of Brotherhood on console.
That's a very long time ago. Yeah.
But I now own every Assassin's Creed game. They are all installed.
Oh, really?
We are going to... I'm not going to say I'm going to like go and beat them all because this is not, just to be clear, this does not fall under my, if I start a game, I have to finish it. Not a thing. Mm-hmm. But there are just so many things that I am playing with this game, this Shadows, that I'm like, they did it better in like Assassin's Creed 2 or 3 even. And so I started going down this rabbit hole on YouTube of like, is this game good? Like, like to be fair, it's in an 80. But people are like really talking highly of it. It's a very good looking game. I'll give it that. Like the weather effects and like the part, like it's pretty. But like you look at Assassin's Creed Unity and that's still a very good looking game. You look at the original Assassin's Creed, you're just like, holy crap, this was on a 360. Or I think it was a 360.
I think so, yeah.
And that looks great. Like it still looks crisp. And I went down this rabbit hole and there was a comparison, and I almost sent it to you. But there's a comparison of Shadows combat and Assassin's Creed 3 combat. And I never got into Assassin's Creed 3, but the combat is so stylish and there's slow motion and there's like sweeping camera angles as you're just like assassinating people and like somebody attacks you. And instead of like if you parry it, if your back's to them, your character, like Shadows, you just kind of like warp around and like automatically do it, kind of like Batman in the Arkham games. In 3, you're like throwing your hand behind your back and parrying it behind your back and stuff, and like all those animations are in there. I'm just like watching this stuff, I'm like, it's kind of worse. Like it really, like there's like 5 animations I do in combat and like they're cool the first time you see it, and then it's like, man, this is getting like, I think it is the most stale, annoying like combat. Like I keep playing it. I'm just like, there's nothing I'm doing in this game that I'm like, this is fun. I like it. I'm just doing it because I said I'd finish it. So like I've gone off the beaten path and tried to explore, and it's like just empty. And I will say, I told you this, that they are seasons and stuff. I did finally get snow. It's finally progressed enough that now I see the world in snow.
Yeah.
Which is a welcome sight.
I was going to say, I think that was very dependent on the area that you're in.
Yeah, I went a little more north, I guess.
Yeah.
And
that's just like kind of Japan's climate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, though, I get there and then immediately start a flashback episode where it takes me back to... So I'm going through one of Yasuke's like, hey, how'd you become a samurai, dude? And I'm trying everything, right? Like,
yeah.
I put it on the immersive mode where everyone's speaking Japanese and Portuguese and stuff, and it's like
Portuguese.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, that's where he's from. Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, which kind of ties into Ezio, apparently. Well, spoilers. But yeah, so it's like, okay, I trying everything, and I'm just like, nothing is clicking for me at all. Like I just like I don't know.
Damn.
Like
dude.
it seems so confined, and I got to. One of the reasons why I want to play the other ones is I want to see where the camera angle is and stuff, because I feel like this game is so close to your character that whenever you're in a building, I just feel claustrophobic all the time in an open world game, which is insane to me. But okay, anyway,
yeah,
it's fine. It's an okay game.
We will have a review though.
Yeah,
we will.
We will
have a guest.
I just want to understand what I'm missing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
it's the classic. Like, what does everyone else see that I am not seeing?
I think it'll be an interesting discussion. Two very different perspectives.
Yeah, like I want to I don't want to do this because last time, so when I played Valhalla, I was like, this isn't good. And I went back to Odyssey and put another 70 hours in Odyssey, and I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
Like I've put probably 200 hours in Odyssey. Wow. Like I've beat it 3 times.
Where's that on your top 100?
So I was looking at my mug. I don't know where it's on my top 100. It's not my
not
top 25. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like,
I think it's a miss.
Should be.
Yeah.
Like for instance, if I don't think Phantom Pain's on here. If Phantom Pain is on here, it's not. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Because it's better than Phantom Pain.
It depends on when you catch me. It depends when you catch me.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Pain, I think, does more cool, like weird things. But Odyssey is so. If there's ever a Tyler game, Odyssey is that game. It has. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to. I need to get to that game. I mean, right now.
Is that on your docket? Are you even remotely interested in that?
Here's the game plan. I have just completed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at 135 hours. What a great game.
Spoilers for your review.
I've been saying that for 2 months.
Sure.
Or a month or whatever. February, right? Month and a half. I am playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Supposed to play tonight, so we'll see. I'm level 4 still.
Yep.
I'm a little bit behind on everyone, although I have 10 hours in it somehow. Yeah. Half of that was probably character creation.
You do. They were right. You do kind of jump pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But the thing that slows you down is the story. Like you just have to.
I have to get over the story, but I don't want to skip the story. So like some of my friends, like one of my friends said, just skip the story. That's what I did. Although Jeff and Dwayne both told me, don't skip the story. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm not going to skip the story. I want to see the story. I'm a story guy.
You would, yeah, I would not skip the story if I were you. I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah.
Like, I would, if
I want
I
to
could
see
do
what
it
they
again,
had. I mean, if I'm going to review the game, I should see what they put out there.
You would do yourself a disservice if you skipped the story. Yeah.
I also think there's a lot of cool cutscenes as well. Like, the action cutscenes are really cool. Mm-hmm. It's just when that little kid talks, I want to die.
Well, that's the problem. If it was me, you should be able to skip the kid and then still watch when the big monster comes in. But if you skip the kid, you skip the intro for the big monster, and now you're just fighting something. You're like, I have no idea what this guy's doing. Yeah.
So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Finished KCD 2, playing Monster Hunter, and then after that, it's a little bit up in the air. So there's things coming out. South of Midnight that we've talked about is coming up in April here. And Expedition 33 is coming up at the end of April.
Not to be confused with 33 Immortals.
Which I'm probably not playing.
That's fair.
That's like the big multiplayer thing, right? Where you can play up to 33.
Yeah, but I guess you could play in squads of 3. So like there's some, I
don't know. I do remember seeing
but
that.
But that's the first board, and then it gets to 22, and then it apparently gets smaller.
I don't know if it got great reviews, but...
It's in early access right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so early access. I don't really mess around with early access. So that's kind of the plan right now. Like there's those 2 games coming out, which I do want to check out. They're on Game Pass, but I'm a little bit behind Assassin's Creed,
Yakuza,
Avowed.
Avowed, yeah.
Yakuza, probably less likely because it's not on Game Pass and it is like in that 80 range. So like I would be more tempted to do an Avowed or a...
They're all in 80. All 3 of them are 80, 81.
That's what I'm saying. I'm tempted to do Avowed because it's on Game Pass and is...
I think so. Here's the thing that I'm worried about with Avowed is I don't think you're going to like it because it's too soon. It's the same. It's a first person, same kind of thing as Deliverance.
Yep.
And they are vastly different games, but Deliverance does just so much stuff that Avowed is like the super arcade version of that. I think. Who knows? Maybe Garrus's voice actor is enough to get you in because it certainly was for me.
Nah, this just makes me want to play Mass Effect again.
Yeah, well, I would be interested to see what you thought of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so...
And that's going to be on sale, though, so that's going to...
What do you mean?
Dude, all Ubisoft games within... Give it 6 months.
Maybe not this one. This one's selling very well.
Give it 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. So the question is, what comes after Monster Hunter? How long... Well... Question 1 is, how long is Monster Hunter going to take me? Because that might just take me into those other 2 games
South
I
of
mentioned.
Midnight will be out by the time you're done with Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but if that gets an 80 as well, which is totally possible, it's like I'm not going to be chomping at the bit to play that.
Sure. Well, there's the
I'll
other
take
one
my
too.
time with Monster
what else
Hunter.
came out like in Enshrouded or something? Start with an E, maybe?
Atomic
Atomic Heart's another one.
Not Atomic Heart. That's the
Atomfall.
Atomfall.
Yeah.
That's it's again.
Dude, what are names anymore? Like, what are these?
Well, they're names.
Yeah.
Adamfall. That got worse, actually. I know people get annoyed when I say I base everything off reviews, but like, what's a better barometer of like what I should use my time for, right?
I mean, these games are massive. They are so big.
I trying to get to them, but and then when you have a bunch of purples, it's like, well, you know, what do you pick? Yeah, I think the game plan right now, Monster Hunter, and then tentatively Assassin's Creed, because it looks great. I want to see it on my new rig.
Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. I can't even.
I was watching.
How
So
nice
one of the
looks
first reviews came out for that Alienware that I got, and he was benchmarking a little bit. One of the things he benched, the Assassin's Creed Shadows does have a benchmark.
Yeah.
So he was 4K maxed, getting like 120 to 130 frames. So I was like, ooh.
What was ray tracing on though?
I don't know. I don't think he listed the settings.
So I have ray tracing on. Like it comes on by default.
You're maxed out?
I'm not maxed out.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm on a lot of mediums, but it still looks real good.
Oh, yeah. Pretty well optimized. There's a Digital Foundry video on, I guess they have a new engine for this game, the Anvil engine.
Anvil 2, yeah.
Anvil 2. Yep. So I didn't watch all of that, but they were singing its praises.
It's always getting people just dog on like Unity and stuff because like that one screenshot where you see like their eyeballs through the face or something. And like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but like that's in like most games. You can like clip people's face. Like that's how that works. But like I still watch footage of Unity, and like if you compare like the way that they climb and all this other stuff, it's like Unity was so fluid. Was it perfect? No, but I feel like they did not fully kind of realize what they had there. Like there are videos of like the shadow person running up a tree and like bouncing off the tree because they couldn't climb on anything. Unity, he grabs onto the tree and just hangs on the tree and is like just sitting there. Like the animation is so good.
Yeah.
And that was what, Assassin's Creed 5?
Yeah.
Technically, that's when they gave away the Roman numerals.
Yeah. That was quite a bit
of
time, maybe like 8 years ago,
right.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Yeah. So anyways, I don't know. That's kind of the game plan. I know you were asking me about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 review. Yeah. I don't know when I'm going to do that. I mean, are you going to play it? I know Jeff's going to play it.
Am I going to put 130 hours into it? No.
You should, but no.
Yeah, but like think about how many other games are, like...
Why play other games when you can just enjoy one game? That's what I've been doing this year, it's been the correct move.
I am torn because on one hand, I want to have an in-depth conversation with you about it and like just like kind of like gush over something because I really enjoy doing that with like Tekken. But on the flip side too...
Well, that was special because we played literally together.
Right, yeah. But again, it's this is so like I like enjoying the same thing.
Yeah,
other people enjoy, and it's like there is that, but at the same time, like Doom's going to be a big one. Call of Duty's going to come out. Like we'll see what the heck that is.
Yeah.
You have the more hopefully Mortal 33 or 30 or no
Expedition
33 is good, and maybe you'll jump into that and stuff.
I'm really hoping.
These long form games, I just am so bad at, man. Like Assassin's Creed's a little different because that's like check off the boxes and kind of.
Yeah, but you started Avowed too. I don't know.
Well, I got to finish Avowed. Yeah,
I know, but I guess I'm a little confused why you're committing to Assassin's Creed Avowed, and then Kingdom Come was like, nah.
Kingdom Come is Kingdom Come left a bad. I shouldn't even say this. It wasn't a bad taste in my mouth because it did exactly what I knew it was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try to take a shortcut in Kingdom Come, you get like so punished for it.
Yeah.
Which is what the game is.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, no, I just want to get over here. Like Assassin's Creed, I'm just like mantling a mountain and like just jumping, and because I have the perk that if I roll right before I hit the ground, I take like next to no damage.
Nice.
So I'm like jumping off cliffs and it's like, it's fine. I'm just getting where I need to go.
Yeah.
Like Kingdom Come, I would have like two just dust legs and I'm just like crawling because I'm out of bandages and stuff. It's like, you have to be in a very specific mindset, in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong, but you have to be a very specific mindset for that game. And to me, it's like, that's such a big commitment. It's a reason why I don't like movies. I'll sit in front of the TV for 5 hours for a television show.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think you're right. I think you get out of that game what you put into it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, for me, Avowed I liked because it was the thing I like most about Avowed is I'm just running around exploring, and it's always rewarding because I'm always finding like little hidden things and crap to do. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to finish it.
I mean,
I should finish it.
I don't want to force you, of course. I think I'm really hoping Jeff does, because I would love to at least have one other person have a conversation about it for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Because spoiler, it's gonna be in contention.
How much did I put? I put what, 15 hours into it or something like that so far, which I know is like nothing, but like it's not like I'm not playing it. Like I had some time into it.
Right. Well, we were talking a little bit off air about, because one of your goals this year is to finish all games that you start.
Yeah.
But you weren't counting this quite yet because
I was backtracking a little bit.
Right. Which is totally fair. I don't want you to commit to 100-hour game, even though you played like, you know.
Is it actually 100? I guess my question would be: is it a 100-hour game?
Yeah, that's it. I played it
very 10 hours of it.
Very slow. So it's definitely not a 100-hour game, depending on what you do. Right? How many side quests? How you rush the main story or whatever.
But see, it's so weird because I feel like in that game, I feel like I played so much of it, and it was like, no, you played 10 hours.
That is interesting.
In Assassin's Creed, I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing anything in this game, and I'm at 19.6. And like,
what's the better spot to be in?
Deliverance. Like it's like Deliverance. At least I was like doing things, and like if something was wrong, it was because I wasn't being like this like realism. Like, no, you can't sleep in someone else's bed in the middle of the night. People think that's creepy. You know, stuff like that.
Right,
where I don't know. And Avowed, it's just you can go and steal, and like there's no stealing, there's no stealth. Like you go nuts.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't think Avowed is going to hit for you as much as Deliverance. Or maybe you need like a cleansing. Like,
well,
just
again, it doesn't matter. It's going to be Monster Hunter. I have to do that.
Yeah,
I want to do
still
that.
Think that's a mistake, but
no, I want to see the light, quote unquote.
Yeah,
I want to get to.
I saw the light at 35 hours.
Oh, I mean, I'm already at 10 or whatever. So 25.
Yeah, but 2 of that is your character customization.
I don't know. I just want to see. I want to get there. I need to talk about it because it's going to be a big conversation this year, and I gotta play it all.
Yep.
So that's definitely a goal of mine, and then we'll see after that. We'll see how long that takes, and maybe it's probably, depending on what happens with South of Midnight, it's gonna be maybe Assassin's Creed or Avowed. I mean, those are probably the two. Yakuza is probably not going to happen unless I get time later on.
Sure.
Yep. And then definitely Expedition 33. That's like my most anticipated game this year. So
as long as Justin doesn't want to play it, you're good.
He hasn't said a peep about it, so I think
you should be okay.
I think we're good right now. But
yeah,
they were letting people try it. They were very open about it.
Usually it's like, hey, when does the embargo hit? Like, if you can look that up, it might be even available to find out.
I don't know, but I was watching a dude stream it.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez. Okay.
So I'm like, they must be very confident. Like, you don't do that if things aren't tight.
Who makes that? Do we know? Do you know the studio?
Oh no, it's the French studio though.
Okay.
Can't remember.
I was just curious.
Like, I think they're kind of new or something. Yeah. I don't know what else they've done, but
I wonder if that's even on Steam. But okay, yeah.
To pre-order or
no? I was curious because I can just get their information from.
Oh yeah, I think. But anyways,
nice.
Yep. I see you have a couple other games. You want to talk about those, or
I'll save those for next time. Right. I know you gotta kill monsters.
Kill the monsters, dude. I don't know. Maybe Monster Hunter will become my favorite game of all time.
Maybe.
It's looking unlikely, I'll be honest, but we'll see.
It won't.
It might. No. There's a universe.
There is a universe.
One. Doctor Strange found it.
Yeah. Not in Marvel. The Doomsday movie. He was not in the chairs. Neither was Tom Holland.
Oh. Yeah. Anyways, so if you made it this far, appreciate you. Check us out, as we've mentioned, couchcompany.games. Everything is on there. Everything you could ever wish for.
Did that again. Okay.
I always do that.
Yeah.
Over promise, under deliver. That's my motto.
Oh, man. Gotta cut so many things.
Top fives, podcast, reviews. Got the Split Fiction up there. Read through that. It was a good game. And then, we're going to be here. Same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch. Peace.